Let's see this question which was asked in AIMS 2002, important model. So you can see there is a system of 5 capacitors. So whenever you find a question where you are having a system of 5 capacitors, the first thing that should always come in your mind is whether they are forming a Wheatstone bridge kind of arrangement. So let us see that. If that is there, then your question is half solved. So now what we do is we name. Let us say this point X, so this will also be X. This is Y, so this is also Y, and this is also Y. So whenever there is nothing connected, you can assume the potential or point to be same. Now let us say this is point A, so this will be A, and this is B, so this will also be B. So let us now try to redraw the circuit. We go from X to A. So let us say we are starting from X. We are going to A. So X to A, what do we find? 6 microfarad. So draw it, 6 microfarad. So this is done. Now we are going from X to B. What do I find? 6 microfarad. So I am going to a different point here, B, and this is also 6 microfarad. So this is also done. Now I am going from A to a different point B. A to point B. What do I find? 20 microfarad. So let me go from A to B. What do I find here? 20 microfarad. Now I am going from B to Y. What do I find? 6 microfarad. So this also is done. Let us say this point is Y. So again I find the 6 microfarad. Now what is left? A to Y, 6 microfarad. We'll connect it. 6 microfarad. So this one is also taken into account. So we have taken into account all the capacitors that is present in the circuit, and you can see that we are having a Wheatstone bridge kind of arrangement. And we have to find the equivalent capacitance between point X and Y. Now let us check the ratio. 6 by 6 is equal to 6 by 6. That is 1. So that means there won't be any flow of current or any storage of charge on this capacitor, because point A and B will be having same potential. This is acting like a balanced Wheatstone bridge. So this is gone. So now what is left? 6 and 6, they are in series. So what will be the equivalent? 3. Here 6 and 6 in series, 3. Both of them are in parallel. So 3 and 3 parallel is again 6. So what will be the answer for this question? It will be 6 microfarad. Let's take up this question. This was asked in AIPMT 2005. So you can see there are 4 capacitors having value 1 microfarad, 2 microfarad, 3 and 4 microfarad. And there is a battery which is supplying voltage of V. So they are asking us to find the ratio of charges on C2 and C4. So let us try to solve this question. The first thing we will be doing is we will assign the potentials. So here it will be V, this will be 0. So here again V, this we can put it as 0. Now when it comes to charge, can you identify some isolated system here? Yeah, we can do it. One isolated system. This is one isolated system. Another isolated system is getting formed here. So isolated system, net charge will always be 0. So let us say you are assigning some charges. So on this, let us say I am assigning charge Q1. What will be the charge on this plate? It will be minus Q1. Then here it will become plus Q1. Then again here it will be minus Q1. Here it will become plus Q1. So here again it will be minus Q1. And here we don't know. So we can put it as something like Q4. So here it will be minus Q4. So once we have assigned the charges on the different plates of the capacitor, then the thing should be easier for us to do. How will you do it? Net potential difference between these two is V. So what is potential difference created across this? Q is equal to CV. So V is equal to Q by C. So we can write Q1 by 3. Here Q1 by 2. Here Q1 by 1. So the net potential, you can write it as Q1 by 1 plus Q1 by 2 plus Q1 by 3, this should be equal to V. So 6Q1 plus 3Q1 plus 2Q1, and this should be equal to V. So 11Q1 should be equal to 6V. So Q1 should be equal to 6V by 11. Now what about this capacitor here? Again we can use Q4, and that is equal to CV. So 4 into V. Can you see it? Q4, Q is equal to C, which is 4 into potential difference V. So now they are asking us to find the ratio of charges on C2 and C4. So it will be Q1 by Q4. So how much this will be? 6V by 11 into 4V. V and V will get cancelled. So it will be 3 by 11 to the 22. That will be the answer. Okay, now let's see this important model of question. We have to find capacitance across these 2 points AB in this network. You can see we are having 5 microfarad, 10 microfarad, 10 microfarad, 5 and 5. So if you take the ratio, it is 5 by 10 half, it is 10 by 5, 2. So ratio is not same. That means this system cannot be considered like a balanced Wheatstone bridge. So we cannot remove this middle resistor. Then how to solve and find out equivalent capacitance in such kind of circuits? So I'll tell you one easy way to do it. Now see what can be that easy way. So here what you can do is, you can connect this across some imaginary battery. And let us say that battery is having EMF of V. So obviously this point will get potential of V, this also V, here also V, here also V. This is also V. What about this point? 0. We can assign the potential 0. So the whole idea is to assign potential at different points. Now this point we don't know the potential, let it be some X volt, and this point again we don't know, let it be Y volt. So once you have assigned the potential, I'll write the steps. So the first step is assign the potential. Once you have assigned the potential, second step is to identify isolated systems. Isolated system means a part of the circuit which you can remove from the circuit without disturbing the whole circuit. So if you see it here, how many isolated systems are there? One is here. I am encircling it. This is your one of the isolated system. Another isolated system is this. So I can remove this part, I can remove this part without actually disturbing the circuit. So we already know net charge on isolated system is 0. So we'll try to find out the charge. And how do you find out the charge? Charge is equal to C into V. Capacitance into potential difference. So let us talk about this first isolated system. We'll name it. This is first isolated system, this is second isolated system. So we write the equations for first isolated system. What is the net charge? Remember, we'll always start from the point which is unknown and then move on to the other ends to write the potential difference. So what will be the potential difference for this capacitor? We write it as x minus 5. Multiply it with 5. Are you able to understand? So you will get charge. So we can write 5 into x minus v. The potential difference is x minus v. 5 is the capacitance. So multiply it with potential difference to get the charge on this. Similarly, for the other right hand side one, it will be plus, what did I tell you, 10 into x minus 0 plus 5 into x minus 5. So this should be equal to 0. So now this can be written as 5x plus 10x plus 5x. So how much this is? 10 plus 10, 20x minus 5y minus 5v. So send it to the other side. 5 is the common factor. So we can write this as 4x minus y, and that is equal to v. So this is your first equation. Now similarly, for the second isolated system, what we can write for the second isolated system? Similar way, what is the net charge stored? We can write 10 into y minus v plus 5 into y minus 0 plus 5 into y minus x, and this must be equal to 0. So now this can be written as again 10 plus 5 plus 5, 20y minus 5x, and that is equal to 10v. So 4y minus x is equal to 2v. So this is your second equation. So now we are having two unknowns and two equations. So let us solve and get the value of x and y. So my first equation is, I will erase this part so that we get some space. So my first equation was 4x minus y is equal to v. Second equation was 4y minus x, and that is equal to 2v. So in order to solve this, what I do is I multiply first equation by 4. So what we will get, 16x minus 4y is equal to 4v, and second one is minus x plus 4y is equal to 2v. Now add both these equations. So 15x will be equal to 6v. So what is x? 6v by 15. So it is 2v by 5. So now we can write 8v by 5 in the first equation. Minus v is equal to y. So it will be 3v by 5. So y is 3v by 5. So once we have determined the value of x and y, then our job becomes little easy. How it becomes easy? Next step is you determine the charge on these two plates. What will be the charge on this plate? It will be v minus x into 5. How much is that? So the charge on this plate, v minus x. What is v minus x? v minus 2v by 5, which is 3v by 5 into 5. So it will be 3v. So what is the charge on this? It will be 3v. Similarly, here what is the potential difference? V minus y. So that will be 2v by 5. Multiply it with this. So how much will you get here? 4v. So this is the charge which is coming here. Now this battery would have supplied total charge of plus q, and here minus q would have returned back. So what is the total charge supplied by the battery in terms of v? It is 4v plus 3v, which is 7v. So let us say if the equivalent capacitance across A and B is C. So can we redraw the circuit like this? CAB. You are having a battery V. It is supplying Q charge. Here minus Q, minus Q. So can we write Q is equal to CAB into V, and here we are getting Q is equal to 4V plus 3V. Here Q is getting divided into 4V and 3V, which is 7V. So we can write this as 7 into V. So what is the value of CAB or equivalent capacitance between A and B? This is equal to 7 microfarad. So this will be the answer for this question. The method which we have used here, this method is called as nodal analysis. What do we call it? Nodal analysis. So in this method, we try to assign potential to different points, and after that we make use of the fact that the net charge on isolated system is 0. Once we are able to determine potential of different points, then everything becomes very easy. Hi everyone. So let's see the first question of the day. You can see there is a circuit here. There are 3 different capacitors: 4 microfarad, 2 microfarad, 3 microfarad. At this end, the circuit is earthed. On the top plate of this 4 microfarad capacitor, plus 80 microcoulomb charge has been given. So in the steady state, they are asking us to find the charge on the upper plate of 3 microfarad capacitor. So now what we do is, let us say on this upper plate how much charge we are having? Plus 80 microcoulomb. So on this lower plate, equal and opposite charge, minus 80 microcoulomb. Let us say charge on the upper plate of this 2 microfarad capacitor is Q2, and here on 3 microfarad it is Q3. So the first thing that we should do is we should look for an isolated system. So can you identify any isolated system in this circuit? Yeah, this is one isolated system that is getting formed. You can see this is isolated system. Isolated system means you can remove this system or part of the circuit from the circuit without disturbing the whole circuit. You can just remove it. This isolated system is not directly connected at any point in this circuit, so you can directly remove it. So for an isolated system, the concept is, for isolated system, the net charge is always conserved. So initially the net charge was something, so it will be equal to 0. So for isolated system, net charge is always 0. So using this concept, can we write the net charge is Q2 plus Q3 minus 80. So Q2 plus Q3 minus 80, and this is equal to 0. So Q2 plus Q3 can be written as 80. So this will be first equation. Now you know, in general, Q is equal to C into V. Now these two, you can see they are in parallel. So obviously the potential difference across them will be same. If you say the potential of this point is V, so this point will have potential 0. So the potential difference is V here also. So V is equal to Q by C. So we can develop another equation, Q2 by 2, that should be equal to Q3 by 3. If we equate the potential, so this will be our second equation. So Q2 will be equal to 2 by 3 times of Q3. Put it in the first equation. So 2 by 3 times of Q3 plus Q3, this is equal to 80. So 5 by 3 times of Q3 is equal to 80. So what will be the value of Q3 then? 5, 16 times 16 3 is 48. So it will be plus 48 microcoulomb. So the answer for this question is plus 48 microcoulomb. Okay, so let's see this question. This question was asked in IIT JEE 2011 and again it was repeated in NEET 2016. That is why it's very important for us to practice previous year questions, especially for NEET exam. Even though that question might would have been asked in IIT exam or JEE mains. So let us see, here you are seeing the circuit. Initially the switch is connected at 1 here. This is 2 microfarad capacitor. What is the supply voltage? It is V. So there will be some energy which will get stored in this 2 microfarad capacitor. So what will be the energy stored? Energy is stored in 2 microfarad capacitor initially. What is the formula? Half CV square. Half CV square. So we will write it half into C is 2 V square. Remember, this is not connected here right now. So right hand side, this right part of the circuit is not operational. Only left part of the circuit is operational initially. So now there is some energy which is getting stored in this capacitor, 2 microfarad. How much is that? It is V square. Now what happens? You disconnect this switch from 1, you disconnect it, and now you are connecting the switch to position 2. So now there will be flow of charge, distribution of charge which will take place between 2 and 8. So how distribution will charge take place? Now you can see both of them are in parallel. So what will be the common potential acquired by both of them? Let common potential acquired by both of them be V dash. So what will be the value of V dash? We have already studied V dash is equal to C1 V1 plus C2 V2 by C1 plus C2. This is the net charge and this is net capacitance. So what is C1 V1? It will be C into whatever potential was across this 2 microfarad capacitor. So we can write it as 2 into V. Here nothing was there initially, so 8 into 0 divided by 2 plus 8. So how much is this? 2V by 10. So that is V by 5. So now the common potential across both of them, it becomes V by 5. So now what will be the energy stored in 2 finally? It will be half into CV square. C is 2 into V square by 25. What about energy stored in 8? Finally, again half into 8 into V square by 25. So what will be the final energy that will be stored? So we can write it here. E final will become sum of these two. So what will be the sum? 2 to cancel, 2 4s the. So 4V square by 25 plus V square by 25 is 5V square by 25. So that is V square by 5. So it is V square by 5. And initial energy, it is only stored in 2 microfarad capacitor and that is V square. So what is loss in energy or energy dissipated? It will be V square minus V square by 5, which will be 4V square by 5. So what is percentage loss in energy? We can calculate it. So loss in energy is V square minus V square by 5. Original is V square into 100%. This will give us the answer. So it will be 4V square by 5 divided by V square into 100%. So V square and V square will get cancelled. 5, 20, 24 ja 80%. So the answer for this question is 80%. That is the percentage of stored energy which gets dissipated. Now let's see this question. It was asked in JEE Mains 2017. An electric circuit requires a total capacitance of 2 microfarad across a potential of 1000 volt. So the total capacitance we want from the circuit is 2 microfarad. This should be the output. And we are allowed to have 1 microfarad capacitors, and each of them individually cannot sustain more than 350 volt. Which capacitor? 1 microfarad capacitor. So how many capacitors are required to make the circuit? So let us assume that in each row you are using n capacitors. Each capacitor we can use 1 microfarad only. Correct? And you are having total m number of rows. And what is the equivalent capacitance of this? The equivalent capacitance must be equal to 2 microfarad. Now it is given in the question that you can connect it across some 1000 volt. So in parallel across each row, how much potential difference will be created? 1000 volt. But individually each of these capacitors cannot sustain more than 350 volt. So across each of them the potential cannot exceed 350 volts. Correct? So can we write 350 across each? If it is 350, so if n number of capacitors are there in each row, we want it to be 1000. So approximately we can write 350 n it should be equal to 1000. So what is n? 1000 by 350, 0, 20. So it is approximately 3. It is approximately 3. Now if m number of rows are there, if it is 3, then what is equivalent capacitance? It will become 1 by 1 plus 1 by 1 plus 1 by 1, which is 1 by 3. And if m such equivalent will become, we write it 1 by 3 microfarad. So if you are having m such number of rows, then what will be the equivalent capacitance? It will become m times 1 by 3. M times 1 by 3 is m into 1 by 3. So this should be equal to equivalent capacitance, which is 2. So what is m? It is 6. Then what is the total number of capacitors that we are using here? M into n. Number of units in each row into number of rows. So 3 into 6 is 18. So the answer for this question will be 18. Let's see this question which was asked in IIT JEE 2002. Two identical capacitors have the same capacitance C. One of them is charged to potential V1 and another to V2. So we are having two capacitors. Capacitance is C. One, you are charging it to potential V1. So what is the charge you are giving? Q is equal to C into V. So plus CV1 minus CV1, and to another one you are charging it to potential V2. So you are giving charge plus CV2 and minus CV2. So what is the total energy right now? So in this state, what is the energy stored in the capacitor? be half CV square is the formula. So half into C into V1 square plus half into C into V2 square. Now they are connected such that negative is connected to negative and positive is connected to positive terminal. So that means you are connecting them something like this. Negative terminal to negative and positive to positive. That means they are connected in parallel to each other. So if they are connected in parallel to each other, they will acquire a common potential V. What will be the common potential? What is the equivalent capacitance now? Equivalent capacitance will become parallel. So C plus C, 2C. And what is the net charge? It will become Q1 plus Q2. So what is Q1? CV1. This is Q1 and this is your Q2. So we can write V common potential as equal to Q net by C equivalent, which is 2C, and Q net is CV1 plus CV2 by 2C. So it will be V1 plus V2 by 2 because C will get cancelled here. So what will be the final energy? We can write final energy as, again the formula is half CV square. So C equivalent 2C. So half into 2C into the square of this. So how much will be this? V1 plus V2 by 2 chi square. So 2 and 2 will get cancelled. And you are having C by 4 into V1 plus V2 ka square. So what they are asking? Decrease in energy of the combined system. So what will be the decrease in the energy? It will be initial energy minus final energy. So let us try to do that and find it out how much we are getting. So I will erase this part. So decrease in energy of the system will be initial energy minus final energy. What is initial energy? Half CV1 square, you can see it here, plus half C V2 square minus C by 4 into V1 plus V2 whole square. So V1 square plus V2 square plus 2V1 V2. So what will be this term? It will be 1 by 4 CV1 square, again plus 1 by 4 CV2 square minus C by 2 V1 V2. Any doubt in this? So now this will be the answer. If you want, you can rearrange the terms also. If you want to rearrange. So how you can rearrange? Let us say if we take C as common, or C by 4 we take it as common. Then what do you get? V1 square plus V2 square minus of 2V1 V2. So this can be rearranged as C by 4 V1 minus V2 whole square. So this will be the final answer. Let's see this question. This was asked in JEE Mains 2016. So there are 4 capacitors in the circuit, one DC source, 8 volt. They are asking us to find electric field due to a point charge Q. So point charge Q is there, which is having charge equal to charge on 4 microfarad and 9 microfarad capacitor. So first we'll try to find out what is the charge that will develop on the plates of this capacitor. So let us try to do that. So here 8 volt, we can assign this 8 volt, this will be 0, this will be 0 volt, this will be 0 volt, 0, 0 volt, 8 volt, 8 volt, because there is nothing in between, so potential won't be changing. Now our job is, if I am able to find out the potential of this, let us say it is X volt, then our work is done. So first we'll identify isolated system. Can you guys identify any isolated system in the circuit? This is the isolated system. So net charge on isolated system is 0. Make use of that. So this is X volt. So this will be X volt. This will also be X volt. So net charge on isolated system is 0. So if we make use of that, we can write 4 into x minus 8 plus 3 into x minus 0 plus 9 into x minus 0. So this will be equal to 0, because Q is equal to C into V, the potential difference into capacitance, that will give charge on each of these 3 plates. So now let us solve this. So what is the value of X? It is 2. The value of X is coming as 2 volt. So now what is the charge on this 9 microfarad capacitor? 2 minus 0 into 9. So 9 to the 18 microcoulomb. What about this 4 microfarad capacitor? It will be 8 minus 2, 6 for the 24. So 24 microcoulomb. So what will be the value of capital Q? It is sum of these two charges. So 24 plus 18 is 42 microcoulomb. So now due to this charge, point charge Q at certain distance 30 meter, we have been asked to find out the value of electric field. So what will be the value of electric field? What is the formula? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square. R is 30, so square of that. What is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught? 9 into 10 to the power of 9. Capital Q we have determined it to be 42 microcoulomb. Convert it into coulomb, 10 to the power of minus 6 by 900. So now, so it is 42 into 10 to the power of 9 minus 6 is 3 by 100. So it will be 420 Newton per coulomb. So the answer for this question is 420 Newton per coulomb. Let's see this question. This was asked in IIT JEE 2007. So there is a circuit which has been connected as shown in the figure with the switch S open. So right now this switch is open. When the switch is closed, find the total amount of charge that flows from Y to X. So let us say there are two conditions in this question. The first condition is when the switch is open. So we will first analyze the first case. Switch S is open. So when switch is open, there won't be any flow of charge between X and Y. So what is the potential difference? 9 volt. So that will develop these two. Now you can see this resistance wala arm and this capacitor wala arm is in parallel with each other. So same potential difference will develop across both. So here what will be the potential difference that will develop? 9 volt. These two are in series, so they will develop equal charge. So what is the charge that will get developed on that? Let us say plus Q here, so minus Q, plus Q, minus Q. So that is the charge which is going to develop. So you know Q is equal to C into V. So V is equal to Q by C. So here what will be the potential difference that will get developed across the end of this capacitor? It will be Q by 3. What about this? it will become q by 6. So q by 3 plus q by 6 should be equal to 9. So we write it, q by 3 plus q by 6, this must be equal to 9. What is q? Q is equal to 18 microcoulomb. 18 microcoulomb. So you can see on this plate you will have initial charge of minus 18 microcoulomb and here you will have plus 18 microcoulomb. So we will write initial condition, we will write it here. This was the case, this was point X. So here we had charge of how much? Minus 18 microcoulomb, and on this plate we had charge of plus 18 microcoulomb. Now we are going to analyze what is going to happen when the switch is closed. So let us see. I'll erase this part. So now this circuit is something like this. You have connected it. So as soon as you are connecting it, these 2 points will acquire the same potential. What will be the potential here? Let us say V. What is the potential here? Let us say V. Now this is 9 volt. So what will be the potential at this point? I can say it is 9 volt. And this point I can give the potential as 0 volt because all this will be 0. The battery maintains a constant potential difference. So this point will also be at 9 volt. This will also be at 9 volt. Here this point will be at 0 volt. This point will be at 0 volt. And this is V. This is V. So what is current that is flowing through this branch? Let us say the current which is flowing is I. So can we write 9 minus V? So here also the current which is flowing, this will be I. So we can write 9 minus V by 3 is equal to V minus 0 by 6. V is equal to IR. We are equating current that is flowing through 3 ohm and 6 ohm resistors. So here 3 2 are 6. So we can write 18 minus 2V is equal to V. So 3V is equal to 18. So V is equal to 6. So we have got the value of potential here. How much is that? How much is the potential you have got? You have got here the potential as 6 volt. So now the things will become easy. Now we just need to determine the charge on these plates. How do you do that? Q is equal to C into V. What is the potential difference here? 3 volt. So 3 into 3, 9 microcoulomb. So what will be the charge on this 9 microcoulomb? On this plate you will have minus 9 microcoulomb. Now other capacitor, potential difference is 6 minus 0, 6. So what is the charge that will develop here? Q is equal to C into V. So 6 into 6 will be plus 36 microcoulomb, and on this plate it will be minus 36 microcoulomb. So final situation, we can again write it here. What is happening finally? Remember, this was the configuration, this was X, this was Y, this was Y. So now this plate, how much charge it is having? It is having minus 9 microcoulomb charge. How much charge this plate is having? This is having plus 36 microcoulomb of charge. So how much total charge has flown? Find it out. So you can see initially the net charge was minus 18 plus 18, 0. Now it is 36 minus 9. How much is that? 27. So how much charge has flown from Y to X? 27 microcoulomb. So the answer for this will be plus 27 microcoulomb. Okay, so let's see this question. A capacitor of capacitance C1 1 microfarad can withstand maximum voltage of V1 6 kilovolt, and another capacitor C2 is equal to 3 microfarad can withstand maximum voltage of 4 kilovolt. When the two capacitors are connected in series, the combined system can withstand a maximum voltage of. So now you are having the first capacitor. What is capacitance? 1 microfarad. Voltage it can maximum withstand is 6 kilovolt. So what is the maximum value of charge which can come on the plates of this capacitor? It will be C1 into V1. So 6 into 10 to the power of 3 volt into 10 to the power of minus 6. So this much coulomb. So it is 6 into 10 to the power of minus 3 coulomb. What about second capacitor? C2 is given as 3 microfarad. So 3 into 10 to the power of minus 6 farad, and it can withstand maximum voltage V2 is 4 kilovolt. So 4 into 10 to the power of 3 volt. So what is the maximum charge which can come on this Q2 max? It will be C2 V2. So it will be 4 3 are 12 into 10 to the power of minus 3 coulomb. When you are connecting them in series, so in series what happens? The charge on the plates has to remain the same. So if you don't want this setup to get damaged, then which charge out of these two you should choose? You are having two options. Either both the plates will have this much charge, or both the plates will have this much charge. Because in series the charge on the plates has to be same. So obviously we'll choose the lower one, Q1 max, 6 into 10 to the power of minus 3. Why? Because this much charge can be accommodated by both the capacitor, but this charge cannot be accommodated by the first capacitor, because maximum capacity itself is 6 into 10 to the power of minus 3 coulomb. So now you are having charge on this 6 into 10 to the power of minus 3, here also 6 into 10 to the power of minus 3 coulomb. So corresponding to this, what is the voltage, and corresponding to this, what is the voltage? So capacitance value is known to you. This is 1 microfarad. So 1 microfarad means here we can write it C1, and C2 is 3 microfarad. So what will be V1 and what will be V2? So here we have to find what is V1 and what is V2. So V1 will be equal to Q by C. So Q is this by C. So I'll write it. I'll erase this left side part so that there is no confusion. So what is the value of V1? It is 6 into 10 to the power of minus 3 by 10 to the power of minus 6. So it is 6 kilovolt. What about V2? It becomes 6 into 10 to the power of minus 3 divided by 3 microfarad. So 3 into 10 to the power of minus 6. So this will be 2 kilovolt. So what is the maximum voltage which can be sustained by this two capacitors in series? It will be V1 plus V2, and that will be equal to 8 kilovolt. So the answer will be 8 kilovolt. Let's see this question. Very important model from both mains and NEET point of view. So there are different dielectric material which has been kept in a parallel plate capacitor, and you can see different specifications are given: K1, K2, K3, K4, A by 3, D by 2. Let us say the equivalent capacitance of this capacitor is C. Now, if you are replacing all this 4 dielectric material by a single dielectric material of dielectric constant K, then the capacitance C is not changing. So they are asking what can be the possible value of this K. So now let us see how to solve it. The concept that we are going to use is simple. The concept is, if you are filling a dielectric, a parallel plate capacitor with some material having dielectric constant K, then its capacitance becomes K times of epsilon naught A by D. This is first thing. Second thing is, if dielectric material are filled in the space between the 2 parallel plates and they are arranged such that they are dividing the area, then we can consider them to be connected in parallel. If they are dividing the distance between the 2 plates, we can consider them to be connected in series. So now let us try to solve this. What we do is, we can try to redraw this in the form of electrical circuit. So let us do that. So we are having K1, K2, K3. What are they doing? They are dividing the area. So that means all 3 of them are in parallel. And whatever you get is in series with the 4th one. So it is C1, C2, C3, and this is C4. Now, what is C1? It will be K1 epsilon naught A by 3 D. 2 will move up. Similarly, we can write C2 value also. It will be 2 K2 epsilon naught A by 3D. C3 will be equal to 2 K3 epsilon naught A by 3D. Now what will be C4? C4 we can write it as, remember C4 is this one, which is filled with this yellow color. K4 epsilon naught A by D by 2. So D will come here and 2 will come here. So these 3 are connected in C1, C2 and C3. They are connected in parallel. So what will be equivalent of them? It will just be the sum of individual. So we can write it here, C1 plus C2 plus C3. How much this will give us? Epsilon naught A by 3D, 2 epsilon naught A by 3D. It is common. So it is K1 plus K2 plus K3. So once we have determined C1 plus C2 plus C3, now you can see these 3, they are in parallel, and whatever you get is in series with C4. So let us say the equivalent capacitance is C. So what we can write? We can write 1 by C, and that will be equal to, C will be, we'll write it here, which is B. So C will be equal to K times of epsilon naught A by D. So everything we can write it in that term. So 1 by C becomes B by K times of epsilon naught A. And that is equal to inverse of this. So it is 3D by 2 epsilon naught A. In the denominator you are having K1 plus K2 plus K3 plus C4, inverse of that. So that will be D by 2K4 epsilon naught A. So now from here, see what is the common term? D D, it gets cancelled. Anything else? Epsilon naught A, that also we can cancel it out. So what is the final relationship we are getting? We are getting it as 1 by k is equal to 3 by twice of k1 plus k2 plus k3 plus 1 by twice of k4. So you can take 2 on this side and then you can get the correct option. So this will be the answer for this question.